you excited for this one?
I think so.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
First thing I want to know is, do you have any advice that you'd like to give people or that you would like to share with viewers?
I feel like more recently I've been a big fan of like realizing embarrassment's a choice and like just being yourself unapologetically and kind of realizing that like you don't have to get embarrassed because like if you're, especially like, I don't know, finding out that embarrassment can be a choice is something that has really changed my perspective on a lot of things because I'm like, I'm gonna just choose not to be embarrassed, and it takes a certain level of confidence to choose that. But I think that and just being unapologetically yourself, I try to be that way, and it's just like if someone does not like you for exactly how you want to be or who you are, then just move on. Like there's way too many people out there, and I've really realized that with friendships and stuff, and even people I work with. I remember being almost because I'm a series regular, I was like, well, they're not going to get rid of me. I'm here. I can be fully myself. I think I always got a little timid when I was just on something for a shorter amount of time. I was always like, I'll just be quiet and stay in a corner and let people like me. And now, of course, I still try to be a positive person to work with, but I'm like, if you don't like me for my silly, goofy self, or like if you don't like me for how I am, then I just don't, we don't need to be around each other, which no one has ever had a problem with it. But I just like, that was my big concern. And now I'm learning most people do not care. You can be unapologetically yourself and they're there for it.
Yeah, like you said, it takes a certain amount of confidence to do that. But also, there's a certain vulnerability to it as well. But
yes. When
you are vulnerable that way and you put yourself out there for people to see, most of the time, majority of the time, they love it and they love you for it. Right?
No, it's definitely true. I think I was so nervous about how people would receive it and whatever. Yeah. It's not like it was a conscious like light switch of like, now I'm going to be completely myself, but working towards that, I was like, when you realize that people like you for you, you're like, oh, this is a whole nother level, and they actually know me. It's just a different type of friendship or whatever it is. Yeah. That when you really know somebody, it's
more meaningful.
Definitely, it's very fun.
Okay, so that is a great answer. Next question is there just a general inspirational story or uplifting story that you'd like to share?
I think that's a really hard question because I think it's tough to pinpoint it to one thing. But what does come to mind is, as you know, you've known me since I was 8. I've been acting since I was 8. And now I'm 21. So that is a long time, okay? And this is my first series regular role. This is whatever. But there were 5 years previous to booking Big Shot that I did not work on a single thing, not a commercial, not a whatever. So
print job,
no print job. So that's why I completely engulfed myself in dance at that point. I said, this is something I can control, that I also am very passionate about and whatever. And so many people in that time would come up to me and be like, oh, so you're like dancing now, you don't act anymore? And I would always be like, no, I'm working just as hard in acting as I always have. I just don't have the opportunities right now. It's just a great reminder that if you really love what you're doing and are serious about it, then there's no amount of time that can alter that. My love for acting did not fade one bit. If anything, it grew stronger. And I remember I used to be a little more of a pity party about it. I'd be like, it's been 3 years since I've worked, whatever, and I would get down about it. And naturally, it's my job and I'm not working. So I think first off, diving into dance and really finding other purpose and other meaning, because your job can't be your only meaning anyway. I've come to learn that more recently.
Absolutely.
But that, and also I one day had a switch and I don't know what caused it. And I was like, I'm sick of counting down how long it's been since set. I'm gonna wake up every day and think, I'm one day closer to set. I have no idea what set that will be or whatever, but every day that goes by is one day closer. It's inevitable. Just like if you're single, you can be like one day closer to marriage. You're not actually maybe actively doing anything to get closer, but just time going by is whatever is making you closer. So I think that has really helped me. So I think just overall, timing of everything is out of our control. So I think just working hard, but also staying consistent and just, I think not letting other people also doubting, oh, are you still even da-da-da? Are you still passionate? Like, that could have easily gotten me down more than it did, but I was just like, oh, I'm so sure in what I'm doing that I don't care that you just kind of offended me by asking if I even try to still act when it's what I try to do every day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think just taking everything, with a grain of salt, and I trust the process very much, so I think that helps.
That's amazing. Yeah, the proof is right there. 5-year dry spell, and then boom. Great role.
Here we are. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, I love that.